was to silence Daniel's praise. That was the purpose of it. And so today I want to use for a topic, you can't stop my praise. You can't stop my praise. The seasoned saints can probably attest more than most that there are often things or situations or even people who try to stop or even hinder our praise. Watch this. There's some folk who woke up this morning and there was something that went on within your household that wanted to prevent you from getting to the house of worship so that you can give God praise. You normally wake up on this side of the bed, but for some odd reason, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And there were some things that you planned to have accomplished prior to getting your day started. And unfortunately, there were some glitches that happened in your life this morning, and those glitches prevented you from doing what needed to be done, and that thing, whatever that thing was, almost stopped you. Almost prevented you from coming to give praise. My. Throughout our lives, we often give way to the attempts of the enemy. And I'm a young man. I'm 44 years old, but over the course of these 44 years, I can honestly say that there have been times when I've allowed the enemy to win. Listen, I'm pretty sure I'm probably the only one that's been in that situation. I'm sure that I'm the only one that's allowed the enemy to step in and have his way. But I can speak for me, but that there's been some times in my life where the enemy decided to stir some things up, and I had my own plans of how things were supposed to go. I had my own intentions and my own desires for the way things were supposed to work in my life, and Satan showed up. And when he showed up, I allowed him to win. And his winning resulted in me stopping my praise. My. Watch this. And oftentimes, the reason why the enemy wants to hinder your praise is because of their own insecurities. It's not because of anything that you're doing. So it's not the fact that they have a problem with you singing. They don't have a problem with singing. They just have a problem with you singing. My. So today I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you that it's our duty, it's our responsibility that anytime this situation comes about, you have to tell the enemy, you can't stop my praise. Listen. My grandmother would say it like this. She would say, Satan, get thee behind me. Listen, we oftentimes, too many times, instead of us having him get behind us, we allow him to walk alongside of us. We allow him to walk in front of us and lead us in this Christian journey. But today, it's important that I encourage you to let him know he can't stop. He can't stop your praise. Watch this. There's a passage of scripture that's talking about a certain individual by the name of Daniel. And in this particular passage of scripture, Daniel is known for being a prayer warrior. He's known for spending time with God. Listen, this is what he's known for. People know him, and when they pass by his house and they're able to watch him and they see him kneeling down and giving time and honoring God and praise in prayer. My. And so here in this particular kingdom, King Darius had set over his kingdom 120 princes. And he had also set over them three presidents. And the presidents were above the princes. But of the three presidents, Daniel was preferred over the others. Listen, somebody already missing this thing, because the fact that he was seen or was preferred over others, and I'm trying to figure this thing out, and the others were trying to, if we're all presidents, then what makes him be more preferable than me? I got the same degree that you got. I got the same role that you have. We got the same responsibility. So why is he preferring you over me? My. Most times when it comes down to churches, we get ourselves tied up and tangled up because we get too tied up in titles. We get too tied up in having these labels upon us. But I tell people all the time, listen, I'm not worried about what you call me, because I know who I am. Watch this. In this particular passage of scripture, Daniel was seen as first. My, that the princes may give account unto them, and the king should have no damage. But watch this, verse number 3. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and the princes. And watch this. It was because of his excellent spirit. Listen, it wasn't anything about what was going on the outside of him, but it was more so about what was going on the inside of him, that he became preferred to the king. Listen, my. Listen, we too busy worried about stuff. We too busy worried about things and what we can do, can't do for people. God says, I want to know what's in your heart. So watch this. It says that he had a pure spirit. And in this, it says that he was seen and he was favored because of this. And the king sought to set him over the entire realm. My. Elevation doesn't make folk happy. Elevation doesn't make people happy. Watch this. But watch this. Then the presidents and the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. We're talking about, in this particular passage, the lion's den. Because as we read in the scripture, it stated that once they put this decree in place, that anybody who went against this decree would be thrown into the lion's den. If I can use in this particular passage, the presidents and the princes in this particular situation were also human lions. They were human lions. Because what most folk don't realize about lions won't attack until they feel threatened. So once he was singled out as being above everybody else, now the other princes and the other presidents felt threatened. And so now, because they felt threatened, they decided, we're going to create this decree. And we're going to find something that has to be wrong with this individual, because it's got to be something that he's doing wrong. Because for God to be elevating him and doing this in his life, he's got to be missing something that he's doing. So watch this here in this particular passage. It says that they set out to find something wrong with Daniel. My. Something's got to be there. He's got to have some secrets somewhere. There's got to be some dirt somewhere. There's got to be some stuff in his closet. There's got to be some things that he's doing wrong. He's got to be slipping out every now and then. He's got to be he's got to be spending money somewhere. He ain't got no business spending money. He's got to be lying somewhere. I know he's had to have told at least one lie somewhere along. There's something we got to find. My. Well, watch this. Verse 4, part B says, but they could find none occasion nor fault. Listen, the devil gets mad when he begins to seek you out and begins to find ways to tear you down, and there's nothing to find. So watch this. It says, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. My. Living according to the way God called him to live, doing what God called him to do. And when he did it, faith showed up. And God elevated him because of his works. Watch this. He says, faith without works is my. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him